Good evening and welcome into the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. My name is Adam Birch and this is the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. For the highest quality work and hassle-free customer service, let J&J take away your stress. That's J&J Truck and Auto Body on East Philadelphia Street in Rapid City. Two teams for the final game of day 4 here at the Firecracker Tournament, the 47th annual. It's Terre, Haute, Indiana, post 346, and your post 22 Hardhats right here out of Rapid City. Terre Haute playing their back half of a doubleheader. They fell at the hands of the Missoula Mavericks in the first half of the doubleheader. Very close and frankly some fireworks to be had in that game. I won't go too much into detail about what happened here at the ballpark during that game, but a very contested game, and Missoula is now in the championship game tomorrow, where they will face Papillion, Nebraska. And keep in mind, if Terre Haute would have won and then beat the Hardhats, they would have been in the championship game tomorrow. So lots of baseball to be played here still tonight. And then the Hardhats will play the final game tomorrow. And keep that in mind as well. Today's starting lineups are built by Connect Home Center. Whether it's residential or commercial, Connect Home Center has been your hometown lumberyard since 1928. For the visiting, Wayne Newton post 346 out of Terre Haute, Indiana. It's Caden Mason, the center fielder, who leads things off. Cade Moore, the shortstop, bats second. The catcher, Coy Edwards, bats third, followed by the designated hitter in the 4th spot. That's Jackson McFarland. Third baseman, Logan Nicholson, bats 5th. Ty Stoltz, the second baseman, bats 6th. Tucker Helton, the right fielder, 7th. Noah Bray, the left fielder, 8th. And Sam Glotzbach, the first baseman, bats 9th for Terre Haute, Indiana. They go up against Palmer Jacobs on the mound. For the Hardhats, we'll dive into his numbers as we get underway here tonight. Ceremonial tap of the Hardhats around Palmer Jacobs, just about set for baseball. And once again, Mother Nature is not looking to be on our side. There is some weather moving in, so keep that in mind as we get started here. Hardhats and Terre Haute. On the other side, the Hardhats send Zeke Farley to the plate first. He's the center fielder. The left fielder, Amarian Saylor, bats second, followed by Wyatt Anderson, the third baseman, third. Harrison Good bats 4th. He's the right fielder. Dylan Marsh 5th at second base. Lee Negebauer gets the start at first base. He bats 6th. Kai Jackson, the designated hitter, 7th. Palmer Jacobs misses high and tight for ball 1. Underway at 7:37 local mountain time. The catcher, Jake Solano, 8th, and Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop, 9th for the post 22 Hardhats. The 1-0 misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes on the leadoff man, Caden Mason. Kind of severe weather predicted and today, as the 2-1 is swung on and missed by Mason. 2 balls and a strike, and her reports of potential tennis ball size hail somewhere in the Black Hills. Bouncer right side, Dylan Marsh on a hop, fields and fires after charging in. Across in time for out number 1. Marsh to Negebauer. 4-3 in the book. And out number 1 brings up Cade Moore, the shortstop. More bats from the right side. Palmer Jacobs set at the bell, kicks and deals, and the first pitch, half swing. It's a ball, no appeal to first. It's just ball 1. The 1-0. Fouled straight back off the screen. Even count 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on, top of a scoreless first inning. We'll set the defense for the Hardhats. And just a few moments after Jacobs fires the 1-1 and the breaking ball skipped in front of the plate, 2 balls and a strike. It's Amarian Saylor in left field, Zeke Farley the center fielder, and Harrison Good the right fielder. Wyatt Anderson at the hot corner of third base, Wilson Kiefer the shortstop, Dylan Marsh the second baseman, and as mentioned, Lee Negebauer getting the start at first base, with Jake Solano doing the catching, and he catches that one, a called strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Solano's the other half of the battery mate for Palmer Jacobs on the mound. The 2-2 fouled straight back out of play. We'll do it again, 2-2. Moore followed by Coy Edwards, the catcher. Just underway here in Rapid City, the final game of day 4. And then, of course, the placing games coming tomorrow on Independence Day. The 2-2 from Jacobs. A high fly ball to right field, hooking right field corner. Harrison Good on the run, and he can't get there. That's a fair ball into the corner. Good gets it in quickly. Moore digs for third. The ball is cut off. The throw into third is in time. They got him. Score that play, a double, and out going to third, 9-4-6-5. It was double cut. And the Hardhats and Wyatt Anderson slap a tag on. That's a huge out, number 2. We'll give Moore a double. But not too many times you see double cut and an out. 9-4-6-5. First pitch, a called strike 1 on the 3-bat of Coy Edwards, the catcher. He bats from the right side, a slightly open stance right there. Jacobs ready out of the stretch, kicks and deals, a bouncer right back up the middle into center field, and Edwards on with a 2-out base hit. So Terre Haute will have a base runner, and Jacobs will at least face 4 in the opening half inning of play. Palmer Jacobs, they want Jacobs to pitch in Pierre on Wednesday. So they are putting him on a 60-pitch limit in this ball game. First pitch called strike 1 on the left-handed bat, designated hitter Jackson McFarland. And if you're not familiar with the Legion rules, they follow the guidelines. And a pitch outside, the throw down, not in time, way high. Leap by Kiefer to keep that one from sailing into center field. It's a ball and a strike on Edwards, or McFarland rather. Edwards swipes second. But those guidelines, if you throw anywhere from 46 to 60 pitches, you need a 2 days rest. Once you get into 61, you need 3. Jacobs ready, and the 1-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Solano. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner on second, 2 gone. 2 hits already on the board for Terre Haute. Jacobs likes the sign from Solano, who sets up down and away. The 1-2, hooking line drive foul left side. And we'll do the 1-2 once again. Palmer Jacobs on the season coming into play, 59 1/3 innings. This is his 9th start, 13th appearance overall, a 6-3 record, 50 hits, 33 runs, 28 earned, 56 strikeouts to just 22 walks, and a 3.30 ERA. The 1-2 Swing and a miss, fastball up and away, and McFarland swings right through it to go down swinging for out number 3. Terre Haute held off the scoreboard in the first half inning of play thanks to a great relay and throw from right field and keeping them off the base paths. We head to the bottom of the first, and the Hardhats to bat for the first time after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are your community. We are your neighbors. Our family of doctors are invested in our community. At Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, we are honored to help you along the journey from injury to recovery. You have a choice with Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. We're set for the bottom of inning number 1 between Terre Haute, Indiana, and Rapid City Post 22 Hardhats. And we're scoreless after 1/2 inning of play. The Hardhats coming to bat for the first time. It'll be Zeke Farley to lead things off against Tyler Will, the right-hander on the mound, sporting number 1 on his back for Terre Haute. Hardhats in their red tops. Rapid City across the chest in white letters. A number below that, kind of the tuxedo trim on the jerseys around the neck and down, straight down the chest. Number on their back as well. Terre Haute, royal blue top. And Terre Haute across the chest in cursive red lettering, white trim. A number below that, and then numbers on their backs in the red and white as well. There is some lightning along with this system moving towards Rapid City. The last strike was about 15 miles away. First pitch called strike 1 on Zeke Farley at the top of the zone. And that's important because once it's detected within 8, we got to stop play. Deal 1 to Farley. Breaking ball called strike 2, right at the knees. Farley, Saylor, and Anderson to bat in the Hardhats first. They're hoping for a whole lot more after not recording a hit last night through 5 innings. The 0-2 misses upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just 10 total hits in this Firecracker tournament. Through 4 games so far, they're 0-4. Terre Haute now 2-2. The 1-2 swing and a miss. Farley goes down swinging, out number 1. So 1 out, nobody on. Amari and Saylor to step in on the right side. Will set and gives a little step of his back foot. He sets up kind of in the stretch position and then just moves his back foot kind of like it would come set in the windup before kicking his leg. 1-0 to Saylor, a high fly ball, deep center field. Back is Caden Mason, still roaming back up against the wall, and he makes the grab on the warning track, out number 2. Boy, Amari and Saylor got a lot of bat on that ball, but there's no wind to help him, and to the deepest part of the yard, dead center field. Now it's 393 to the power alleys. Have to say it's a little bit further once you get to dead center. First pitch to Wyatt Anderson, inside, ball one. So quickly, 2 up, 2 gone for the Hardhats in their half of the first. Will ready at the belt, into his wind, and the 1-0 is strike one, called at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 waved at and missed, pulled the string on him on a breaking ball. And now Anderson down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hardhats looking fooled outside of loud contact so far. The 1-2 misses high, 2 balls and 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 gone. Harrison Goodwood be next should this inning continue. But first, the 2-2 to Wyatt Anderson. Will kicks and deals the 2-2, chopper right at the plate, and it ends up right by Harrison Good in the on-deck circle. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Will to throw is 12th pitch, and it misses down and away, ball 3. So the count runs 4 to Wyatt Anderson. 2 outs, nobody on. Will set, and the payoff pitch down away, just behind the plate, and we'll do another 3-2 payoff. Not as many spectators in attendance here tonight. And with the looming weather, I wouldn't expect that. The 3-2 misses inside, ball 4. Not close, and Anderson draws 2 out base on balls. There is still a fair amount of spectators here in attendance, and plenty of Indiana license plated vehicles out in the parking lot. Terre Haute tends to travel very well when they come to Rapid City. Lots of energy from both sides in the previous game, Missoula fans and Terre Haute fans. Here's Harrison Good, first pitch, a bouncer left side on a couple hops. The third baseman, Logan Nicholson, fires across in time, and actually went to short way to second for out number 3. After 1, we're scoreless. We head to inning number 2 after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. We head to inning number 2. Still no weather just yet. Just a couple of light sprinkles here at the ballpark. And the first pitch, a line drive right into the running grab of Harrison Good in right field. Logan Nicholson wanted to go opposite field and just hung up in time. The line drive fly ball out to right for out number 1 on 1 pitch. So that'll help the pitch count of Palmer Jacobs. Now a left-handed bat, Ty Stoltz. Well, shift put on by the Hardhats, and Stoltz looks on a called strike one outside edge. 0-1. Jacobs threw an inning and a third at 18 pitches and misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So that was his 20th. Once again, Palmer Jacobs put on a 60-pitch limit so he can pitch in Pierre come Wednesday afternoon. Swung on and missed by Stoltz on the 1-1, a ball and 2 strikes to count. Jacobs set the 1-2, outside by a hair, even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jacobs strolls the baseball behind his back. Solano sets up outside, and it misses outside. 3-2. 1 out, nobody on. 2 hits for Terre, Haute, none for the Hardhats after 1. And Stoltz draws a walk and misses outside, ball 4. 1 out base runner for Terre Haute. And Wade Newton post 346. Now Tucker Helton. He bats from the right side. And Helton, a bright orange bat. He rests it on his right shoulder. First pitch, a chopper right side. Dylan Marsh to second for 1. Kiefer to first. And Pasley Negebauer. And caroms back into the field of play, and it'll just be ruled a fielder's choice. But Negebauer unable to scoop that ball low. So it's just a second out. Stoltz replaced by Helton at first on the fielder's choice. Now Noah Bray. Another left-handed bat for post 346. 2 outs, runner on first. First pitch to Bray. Misses a touch outside, maybe low. And it's ball 1. Jacobs ready in a pickoff move to first. And dribbles past Negebauer just a little bit. Do the 1-0 in just a few moments. Mother Nature has not been the friend of the Hardhats throughout this tournament. The 1-0 outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And pretty much every single game that the Hardhats have played has been delayed at some point. Jacobs misses outside, 3 balls and no strikes. And at this point, with Jacobs on a pitch limit, 3-0 is a called strike on the outer edge, 3-1. If the game is delayed, they might just take him out. No reason to risk an injury coming off a cold arm. A 3-1, a line drive hooking left field side, but Amarian Saylor is there to make the grab out number 3. So Terre Haute strands another base runner, and through 1.5, we're scoreless. Hardhats to bat once again after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore has provided a full range of legal services for over 40 years in Rapid City. As one of the largest and highly respected law firms in western South Dakota and multi-state region, our expert team of diversified attorneys offer a very personalized style of legal representation. Whether it's support and recommendations with legal documents or the strongest proponent in a court of law, trusting who you hire as your advocate is vital in achieving the best results. Contact the experienced professionals today at Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore Attorneys at Law.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. Tap of the gloves around the pitcher, Tyler Will, and we're set for the bottom of inning number 2. Scoreless through 1.5 on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Dylan Marsh to lead things off. He goes after the first pitch and swings right through it 0-1. Some open skies in front of us, but lots of dark clouds behind us. That's where we're worried about. 0-1, breaking ball inside edge and upwards part of the zone. Called strike 2. 0-2 on Dylan Marsh, the Hardhats second baseman. The 0-2, high in sight. He ducked out of the way of that one. A ball and 2 strikes. So Marsh, Negebauer, and Jackson to bat for the Hardhats. 1-2, pop-up right side, drifting foul territory. Glotzbach gave chase, but he ran out of room. And someone out of the dugout of Terre, Haute, I believe, made that grab. Ball and 2 strikes on Marsh. Here it is. And it's chopped foul this time into the Hardhats dugout. Everyone flying their hands trying to grab that ball. And for the first time this season, the Hardhats will have back-to-back left-handed hitters in Negebauer, then Kai Jackson. The 1-2. Outside and low on the breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dylan Marsh comes into play batting .304, an .880 OPS. The 2-2 hits him. Hits him right on the back, and Marsh just kind of stares into his own dugout and tosses his bat, trots down to first. So leadoff man on for the Hardhats brings up Lee Negebauer. Righty on lefty matchup. Marsh takes his lead at first. Sidesteps and delivers, and Will misses downstairs for ball 1 on Negebauer. The bunts, pickoff move over to first, gets away wild, and Marsh up to second without a play. Just like that, a man in scoring position for the Hardhats, and now the bunt signal might be on for Negebauer, trying to pull the ball up the first base line. We'll see what Coach Torvey and company have in store. The 1-0. He does not score the bunt, and just watches ball 2 miss up and away. Two 2-0 on Negebauer. Will kicks and deals, and the 2-0 is a called strike on the outer edge. 2 balls and a strike. Catcher sets up down and away once again, trying for that outside edge. Backboard, the 2-1, a line drive into center field, hooking, and it's up into the glove of the center fielder. Marsh tags and goes to third, and he's safe at third, sliding in above the throw. It popped out of the glove as well, and Marsh shaken up a little bit, kind of ran into the elbow of the third baseman, Nickerson. So Negebauer does a job. He put pretty good bat on ball. And it's just a fly out to center. Kai Jackson, runner 90 feet away from making it 1-0. An appeal down to second. They say Marsh left right on time, nothing too early. See that plenty of times here at the Legion level, the appeal, mostly when a runner tags and scores from third on a sacrifice fly, and the Hardhats have been caught a couple of times with that. First pitch, a called strike one on the left-handed bat of Kai Jackson. One out, runner 90 feet away, that's Marsh. Scoreless, bottom of the second. The 0-1 to Jackson is a breaking ball, backdoor breaking ball. It's called strike two on the outer edge, 0-2. Jackson coming into play, batting .376. The 0-2, waved at and missed. Breaking ball went down to a knee, and that's out number two. So it'll bring up Jake Solano. Second strikeout for Tyler Will. Here's Jake Solano. He bats from the right side. A little bit more sunshine coming into play here at the ballpark. And Solano fouls the first pitch straight back out of play. 0-1. The 0-1, breaking ball, called strike two. 0-2 on Solano. And we're getting word that the last lightning strike was about 9 to 10 miles away from the ballpark. 0-2, chopper left side, the shortstop Cade Moore up and fires across in time. Out number three. Hardhats in a man 90 feet away but cannot score. It's scoreless after two. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. We head to inning number 3. And Jake Solano gets his gear back on after making the final out of the second. It'll be 9-1-2 of the Wayne Newton Post 346 lineup from Terre Haute, Indiana. And the Hardhats will have 9-1-2 of their own due up in their half of the third. We're scoreless through 2. Just 2 hits on the board, both for Terre Haute. An error in their column as well. Just straight zeros on the board for the Hardhats here tonight so far. Just about 1 trip through the lineup. Sam Glotzbach steps in on the right side. The first baseman. And he looks at ball 1 upstairs from Jacobs. That was Palmer Jacobs' 31st pitch. And it's a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jacobs ready, and the 1-1. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Might have got just a piece of that one. Ball and 2 strikes on the Terre Haute first baseman. Jacobs ready, a high leg kick and the 1-2. A little blooper into right center field, long run for Harrison, good, and into his glove on the run. He makes the grab. Out number 1. Good read off the bat for Harrison, good. The wind is kind of swirling around here at the ballpark, blowing straight in and, if anything, a little bit right to left on the left center field flags above the scoreboard. Top of the order now, 1 out, nobody on. Caden Mason to bat. He squares the bunt, pulls back. It's a fastball high, ball 1. Jacobs retoes the rubber on the far first base side, the 1-0. Inside 2-0. Mason in his first at-bat to lead off the ball game. He bounced to the right side doing Marsh. Threw him out. 2-0, half swing. The appeal, and he did go around it, strike 1. So 2 balls and a strike. Our home plate umpire this evening is John Whitcraft. Yogi Milslegel in the field. The 2-1, called strike 2 right across the belt. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jacobs working with Solano, and Solano sets up outside, and this one bounces in front of the plate, a breaking ball that time. Count runs full, 3-2. Setting the payoff, Palmer Jacobs to Caden Mason, and he got him swinging. Mason sat down on strikes for out number 2. Second strikeout for Palmer Jacobs. Brings up Cade Moore. Moore, a double his first time, hooked one into the right field corner. It was double cut, and then he was thrown out trying for third. This one, a pop-up right side, out of play, 0-1. So Moore was thrown out 9-4-6-5. From Good in right field to Marsh, then Kiefer, and finally to White Anderson. Pop-up right side, out of play once again, 0-2 on Moore. That was the first of back-to-back hits, but because he was thrown out, it did not result in a run. Peyton Tipton heading down to the bullpen area. Jacobs at 43 pitches right now. This is his 4th, and it's a bouncer right side, stopped by Negebauer, out at first on a cover by the pitcher, underhand flip, and a close play. Moore dove into first, but it's out number 3, and we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Back in a moment right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and recreation. As mentioned, the Hardhats will have 9, 1, and 2 of their lineup due up. We're scoreless through 2.5 here between Terre, Haute, and Rapid City. Final game of day 4 of the Firecracker tournament. Wilson Kiefer the hit first for the Hardhats. It's Kiefer, Farley, and then Saylor. First time through the lineup, the Hardhats have had 2 base runners, a walk, and a hit batter. And that grill next to the concession stands smoking very wildly. It'll create kind of a haze across the field. And some sort of delay. Players are coming off the field. It might have been a lightning strike. Yeah, they're pointing at the sky behind us. And my guess is we will enter a weather delay. The field umpire, Mr. Millslegel, was the one to call it. He was pointing at the sky to the northwest of the ballpark. And at this time, we're entering a weather delay. So the teams have not cleared the field just yet. Coach is talking with our umpires. And we'll see if they wait things out. It doesn't look like much rain will be actually hitting the ballpark. They're still pointing at the sky saying they saw lightning. And they might just ask the players to sit in the dugout versus retreat back to the indoor facility. And we saw this last night, only it was about the same inning. It was the same inning. Missoula scored 4 in the top of the 3rd inning. We had the weather lightning delay. And then the Hardhats batted in their half of the 3rd and weren't able to do anything. So exact same time as last night, getting set to enter the bottom of the 3rd. We're in a 15-minute weather delay as just announced over the public address system. So the teams will stay in the dugout and we will just take a minor step aside here and come back and give you a little bit of a rundown here of how the teams have been faring here at the Firecracker. Well, we'll take a step aside, though, and be right back here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales Service and Recreation. Adam Birch alongside you in the broadcast booth. Waiting out a 15-minute weather delay here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark in Rapid City. Hardhats just about set to bat in their half of the third, so the bottom half of the third inning. It's a scoreless ball game up to this point. No runs, just 2 hits in Terre Haute's column, and that's it. And just an error in for Terre Haute, Indiana as well. Just straight zeros for the Hardhats on their line score right now, and for the most part, in this Firecracker tournament, the Hardhats have struggled mightily, and that's really putting it lightly here. The Hardhats on Thursday evening faced a team from Colorado called Premier West, and they battled in that ball game. They actually took the lead of 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Premier West scored 3 in the top of the third, and that was really the difference maker in the ball game. The Hardhats immediately countered in the third inning, but a base running mistake ended their rally, and that kind of messed up the mojo of the Hardhats in that ball game. They were just unable to score another run. It was 3-2 at that point. No score in the fourth. The Premier West added a huge insurance run in the fifth and then ended up scoring 3 in the top of the seventh. So a 7-2 final. Hardhats had 5 hits in that ball game, out hit 6-5, and an error in Premier West's column as well. That was the lone win for Premier West here at the Firecracker. As a little bit of light rainfall falling here at the ballpark, and a rainbow right over Dinosaur Hill, almost in line with the huge dinosaur. That's kind of cool. As we speak, as we wait out this weather delay. So that was game 1 on Thursday night. The Hardhats played a doubleheader on Friday night, and they were in the ball game against Papillion, who will be playing in the championship game tomorrow against Missoula. But somehow the Hardhats were in that ball game with only 3 hits and being out hit 14-3. You can't make that up. Being out hit 14-3, usually it's a barn burner of a game. The Hardhats actually had the lead going into the top of the 7th inning. And that's something to be said. And they ended up allowing 4 runs in the top of the 7th inning to Papillion, where they ended up tying, taking the lead, and tacking on a few more. It ended up being 8-6 the final. The Hardhats had 3 hits, and they scored 6 runs. Something went right, something went wrong for Papillion. They had 3 errors. So if that doesn't say things as well, and when you look at things, only 3 of their 6 runs were earned, so that makes a difference as well, but still only 3 hits in that ball game. So just 8 total hits in the tournament to that point after game 2. So the back half of the doubleheader, they played the Rocky Mountain Lobos, another team from Colorado. And the Hardhats battled in this one too. They just gave up a big 5th inning. It was 1-0 Post 22 after 2. 2-1 Rocky Mountain after 3. The Hardhats tied things up in the 4th inning before giving up 10 runs in the 5th inning to this Rocky Mountain club. Again, the Hardhats scored 2 runs on 2 hits, and they also had 2 errors. Rocky Mountain had 2 errors. And the Hardhats out-hit 8-2 in that ball game. The final score in 6 innings in that ball game, a run rule victory 12-2. So our Hardhats 0-3 at that point, and just 10 total hits at the Firecracker through 3 games. Then we turn to last night's game, and they faced a very tough, always putting their best foot forward Missoula Mavericks club. They're well coached, and they always put their best foot forward against the Hardhats. Whenever these two teams play, it's usually a battle, and it was earlier on in the season. Last night, Adam Jones just dominated on the mound. Did not allow a hit through 6 innings. That's all he would need to pitch. Missoula scored 4 1/3, 4 more in the 4th, so it was 8-0 at that point. Hardhats scored 1 in the 4th, still with no hits. 1 in the 5th after Missoula put up 3 more, so 11-2 at that point, and that's where it would finish. It was an 11-2 margin after 5 innings, and Missoula only had 6 hits. Out hit the Hardhats 6-0. But once again, the Hardhats just 10 total hits coming into tonight's game, and they don't have any hits so far tonight, and we're through 2.5. Our umpires are walking around on the field, seeing how things are. That rainbow is actually now kind of a double rainbow going up, kind of making peaks on Dinosaur Hill. And if anyone has a picture of that, that would be a sight to see on any social media accounts. A Terre Haute player just dove into the second base bag with a catcher's mask, batting gloves, and just clowning around a little bit. You see that a little bit with tarps being put on the field. And now Terre Haute saying they can retake the field. So we'll take one more quick step aside and come back for baseball. They're warming up, and it looks to be the weather delay over here in just a few moments on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Have you suffered an injury, or maybe you're experiencing pain that just won't get better? There's an expert team of... You want a minute break?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Sports medicine physicians of the Rapid City Rush, and they're the team that wants to help you get back on track. You have a choice for your medical care, and there's no referral necessary. For pain relief without surgery, take the first step to feeling better. Just go to the...
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and recreation. And we're just about set to resume things after our 15-minute weather delay, lightning delay. Just a brief little rain shower fell here at the ballpark, but really lightning was the reasoning for that delay. And no reason to risk any dangerous results due to lightning in the area, and the Hardhats are just about set to bat in their half of the 3rd. And right as our rainbows are kind of letting up over Dinosaur Hill, just a cool sight here in Rapid City. So Tyler Will finishes up his warm-up pitches. Wilson Kiefer to lead things off for the Hardhats after our weather delay. 9-1-2 for the Hardhats, Kiefer, Farley, and Saylor. And we're ready. Wind blowing right to left now pretty strongly. Will into the motion, and he misses inside. Kiefer squared the bunt and pulled back. It's ball one inside. Underway once again, right at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, 8:30 Mountain Time. The 1-0, a bouncer left side through the gap into left field, and the first hit of the ball game comes off the bat of Wilson Kiefer. It's a single to the left side. First hit since game 3. 2 nights ago for the Hardhats. And that's a good sign. Maybe it releases the floodgates a little bit and takes a little pressure off this Hardhats club. Farley scores the bunt, pulls back. It's a breaking ball, down and away, ball one. And Kiefer bluffed his steal. He went back to first. The rain is continuing to fall a little bit here at the ballpark, but nothing that the players can't play with. It's a called strike. Farley scored the bunt and pulled back. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Peyton Tipton is warming in the bullpen area for the Hardhats, expecting the pitch in relief of Palmer Jacobs. The 1-1 outside. 2 balls and a strike. And in case you're wondering, Palmer Jacobs had 44 pitches through 3 innings. Or through 2 innings, rather. No, through 3 innings of his work. And Farley looks at ball 3 downstairs, not squaring this time. And now in a hitter-friendly 3-1 count. With Wilson Kiefer on first and nobody out. Will kicks and deals and misses high, ball 4. Wilson Kiefer in motion on the pitch, but he's in standing up on the base on balls. So a single and a walk after the lightning delay. So runners on first and second for Amarian Saylor. Arguably one of the most consistent Hardhats hitters this season. Saylor waits off a breaking ball and fouls it straight back to the screen. 0-1. Two on, nobody out. Scoreless bottom of third. Will, a peek at second into his motion, and the 0-1 is a fly ball to right field, hooking right field side. Tucker Helton in foul territory makes the grab. Both runners tag and move up the 90 feet. Even Farley tags and moves to second. And the ball hit the right field. So it's second and third with 1 out after the fly out to right. And that brings up Wyatt Anderson. Anderson walked his first time, so no official at-bat to this point. First pitch, breaking ball, chop foul in front of the Hardhats dugout. 0-1. First pitch, breaking ball from Tyler Will. Anderson to bat from the right side. Will set. And the 0-1, chopper left side foul. And now Anderson down the count 0-2. So Kiefer off a third, Farley at second. 2 strikes on Wyatt Anderson with 1 out. The 2-strike pitch from Will. Bounced straight back to the screen. And it bounces almost back to the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. The count remains on Anderson. Batting .388 coming into play today. The 0-2. Line drive off of Coach Torvey, and he just walks it off. Anderson just froze after that line drive, and Coach Kelvin Torvey looks to be all right. Usually a statue on the third base side in that coaching box and hit him right in the gluteus maximus area. A ball and 2 strikes now as Anderson watches ball 1 miss upstairs. Well set, and lightning over right field, and Anderson chops one foul. Not near Coach Torvey this time. A ball and 2 strikes. Will twirls the baseball in his right arm as he dangles it to his side. The 1-2 once again. Swing and a miss. Fastball went right by him, and Anderson down swinging out number 2. Third strikeout of the ball game for Tyler Will, and it'll bring up Harrison Good. Good bats from the right side. First pitch to Harrison is a breaking ball called strike 1. Still 2 men in scoring position for the Hardhats. Big strike of lightning over Dinosaur Hill now. The 0-1 misses high. It was beyond Dinosaur Hill, no worries there. That hill definitely not 8 miles away. 1 ball and 1 strike on Harrison Good. And misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Good bouncer to the left side his first time at the plate. He threw the short way to second for the out, so just a fielder's choice. So a 2-1 found away right side out of play. Twos across the board with 2 ducks on the pond in scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Will set, a deep breath, and the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Good chase is a high fastball, and that's out number 3. So the Hardhats gained their first hit since Friday, and they strand a couple more base runners in scoring position. We're scoreless after 3 here in Rapid City. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Top of inning number 4. We're still scoreless. Terre, Haute, Indiana, and your post 22 Hardhats. Palmer Jacobs back to the mound. Now this might be his final inning on the mound, unless it is very, very quick. He's at 44 pitches beginning this inning, and on a 60-pitch limit, so he can pitch in Pierre on Wednesday. The 0-1 misses downstairs, even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. On the 3-bat and catcher, Coy Edwards. Jacobs ready, and the 1-1 is outside, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 outside, 3-1. Leadoff man here in the 4th. The 3-1, a strike called at the knees. Count runs full, 3-2. And it misses outside, ball 4. So Edwards on with the leadoff walk. He's on base for the 2nd time after his single in the 1st. So runner on first, and a left-handed bat of Jackson McFarland. Bouncer right side through the gap into right field. Harrison Good comes up throwing. The throw into third is out. He's out. He lifted his foot. The third base coach must not have told him to slide, because he tried to go in standing up, or he heard the slide call late. The throw beat him, and Harrison Good guns out. Coy Edwards trying to go first to third, and now potentially Terre Haute's catcher limping off the field. Kind of an awkward result after being tagged out. There's a courtesy run rule here at the tournament, but it is Coy Edwards himself running. So 1 out, runner on first. So McFarland, a single. And he stands off of first. First pitch called strike 1, a breaking ball on Logan Nickerson. A 1 from Jacobs. He peeks at first, sidesteps and delivers, and misses down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, runner on first. We're still scoreless in the top of the 4th. Terre Haute out hitting the Hardhats 3-1. The 3-1 or the 1-1 from Jacobs is fouled straight back out of play. Count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stadium lights in full effect now. After the sun has set, the clouds have pretty much vanished behind us, but very dark skies overhead and beyond the ballpark. The 1-2 misses a little bit upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Jacobs sent once again the 2-2. As a high fly ball playable in center field. Zeke Farley underneath of it. Can of corn for him, and he puts a squeeze on it for out number 2. That'll bring up Ty Stoltz. Stoltz is 0 for 1. He flied to right his first time, and that'll be the end of the ball game for Palmer Jacobs because of his pitch count. He's at 55 pitches, actually 56, and he'll give way with a nice round of applause from the home supporters. We'll take a step aside and welcome Peyton Tipton into the ball game next, right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. We're still in inning number 4, and with the pitch count limit on Palmer Jacobs, he exits after throwing 56 pitches through 3 2/3. He's responsible for the runner on first, but over 3 2/3, he did everything the coaching staff could have asked for here tonight. 3 hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. And Peyton Tipton potentially changing his cleats. And yes, he is. So a slight delay here in Rapid City so Tipton can put on some rubber spikes. To this point, just 4 total hits in this ball game were scoreless. An error on the scoreboard as well, committed by Terre Haute. And it was actually on the pitcher, Tyler Will, on a pickoff move over to first. And Tipton has his rubber spikes on now, his turf shoes now, and I believe they're turf cleats and not just his tennis shoes. There was a little bit of discrepancy in the previous game here before the Hardhats played here tonight between Terre Haute and Missoula. And the Missoula Ball Club all wore metal spikes. Now on turf, you can wear metal spikes, and nothing says you have to wear rubbers. But on the mound especially, it's just respectful of the playing surface and the longevity of the playing surface to wear rubber spikes so it doesn't tear it up as much, especially when you plant and slide on the mound. But no issue here. Tipton just asked to put on his rubber cleats, and he's ready to deliver his first pitch. And he hits the outside edge on the left-handed bat of Ty Stoltz for strike 1. So the brief delay over, and 2 outs, a runner at first. Palmer Jacobs responsible for the runner there. Ty Stoltz at the plate, and the 0-1 from Tipton. It's outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Stoltz walked his first trip at the plate. And on the season on the mound for Tipton, 5 1/3, his 5th appearance overall. No record, 5 hits, 5 runs all earned, 9 walks, 3 strikeouts. The 1-1 outside edge called strike 2, a ball and 2 strikes. So an elevated ERA of 6.56 for Tipton. His last outing came in Game 1 of the Firecracker against Premier West. He went 2 2/3 in that outing. The 1-2 outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tried for that backdoor edge once again and just missed. But in that outing against Premier West, 3 hits, 3 runs all earned, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. The 2-2 outside, 3-2. He's living on the outside part of the plate. Peyton Tipton. The count runs full now, 3-2. Negebauer asked to not hold the base runner on at first anymore, with the runner presumably in motion. 2 outs and a full count. Tipton set, runner takes off, and it's a chopper back to Tipton on the mound. He runs 3/4 of the way, underhand flip to Negebauer, and that's out number 3. So a nice outing for Peyton Tipton, and he'll jog back in to the dugout, recording the final out of the 4th. Hardhats the bat in the bottom half after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. Bottom of inning number 4, we're still scoreless. Here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark, the final game of day 4. Here in Rapid City at the 47th Annual Firecracker Tournament. Tyler Will back to the mound for Wayne Newton, post 346. And through 3 innings on the mound, 1 hit, no runs, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks for Tyler Will. Don Marsh, the first task of the 4th, and he swings right through the first pitch, a 1. Hit by a pitch on the backside from Tyler Will in his first at-bat. The 0-1, down and away, a breaking ball, even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Marsh, Negebauer, and Jackson, the 3 scheduled. The 1-1. Chopper right back to the pitcher, Will. Stared down Marsh, and then fired to first. And that's the first out of the 4th. You know, you talk about sportsmanship at this level in baseball, and there seems to be a lot of extra talking going on. And it came because, well, there's one team that played 2 games tonight. I won't name names. 1-0 the count on the left-handed bat of Lee Negebauer. And he watches a ball 2 miss outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Will ready and into his motion the 2-0. Outside edge, upper outside corner, and it's called strike 1. Negebauer had good bat on ball his first trip. He flied one to center field, deep center field, really. 2-1. A little blooper into center field, and it drops in front of Mason. Lee Negebauer tries for second to throw in, and he slides in safely to second. It's a single and an error in center. Bobbled ball by Mason, and Lee Negebauer getting all the applause from his Hardhats teammates. And his first at-bats at the plate as a Hardhat this season. He's hit the ball well, and it results in a hit this time. We'll see how that's scored on Game Changer. New batter is Kai Jackson. Jackson struck out his first time at the plate. I would rule that a single and an error in my book. Jackson chops one up to the first baseline, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. It is ruled a single, and it says advances to second on the throw. They'll probably put an error in there as well. There's a 2 in that column on the scoreboard right now. Well into his motion, the 1-1, high and away. 2 balls and a strike. If the Hardhats are able to score in this inning, it might be some instant karma, a little serendipity as a result of the jawing. The 2-1, a little blooper down the left field line, long run, and it won't get there. Negebauer being sent around third as it gets past the left fielder. Into second goes Jackson. It's 1-0 Hardhats, and just like that, give a little serendipity. No reason to jaw after that one. It's 1-0 Post 22. Give Kai Jackson most likely a double for him. Spinning ball down the left field line, and he kept it fair. Here's Jake Solano. Man at second, 1-0 Hardhats. Well into his motion in the first pitch, down and away, a breaking ball, 1-0. Well, steers down Jackson at second, kicks and deals the 1-0. Bouncer up the middle, the shortstop Cade Moore. Wide throw, but the first baseman Glotzbach hangs on to his toe on the bag, and it's out number 2. Jackson up to third on the play. They do give a double to Kai Jackson. So Solano out for the second time, 6-3. This time it's out number 2. Wilson Kiefer, single his first time at the plate. He led off the third after the weather delay and knocked a base knock. First pitch, he squares the bunt, pops it up down the line, but it's foul for strike 1. Kiefer loves to drop down the bunt. And the third baseman playing off the third base bag, pretty much in line with it. Taking a few steps in. And the 0-1, breaking ball called strike 2. 1-0 Hardhats, 3 hits aside now here in Rapid City. Runner on third for making this 2-0. Kiefer at the plate, he's 1 for 1. The 0-2 to Kiefer, popped up on the infield right side, foul territory first baseman Glotzbach into the dugout, and he makes a grab before he tumbles over it. And being held up by a teammate or two. That's out number 3. 1-0 Hardhats. They're on the board first here tonight against Terre. Haute. We head to inning number 5 after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore has provided a full range of legal services for over 40 years in Rapid City. As one of the largest and highly respected law firms in western South Dakota and multi-state region, our expert team of diversified attorneys offer a very personalized style of legal representation. Whether it's support and recommendations with legal documents or the strongest proponent in a court of law, trusting who you hire as your advocate is vital in achieving the best results. Contact the experienced professionals today at Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore Attorneys at Law.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. 1-0 the Hardhats lead on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Peyton Tipton back to the mound. That 1-0 score against Terre Haute, Indiana. Wayne Newton post 346. Tipton kicks and deals, and the 1-0 swung on and missed. A big hack and a miss by the right fielder, Tucker Helton, to lead things off. Helton, the right fielder, Noah Bray, the left fielder, and then the first baseman, Sam Glotzbach. The 1-1 misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Couple of fireworks booming around the ballpark. The 2-1. A touch outside, have the north-south, not the east-west. 3-1, Tipton to Helton. 1-0 the Hardhats lead. We're tied in the hit column 3-3. 3-1 swung on and missed. Fastball at the top of the zone. Shake of the head a couple of times from Tucker Helton. He taps the plate twice on the right side. Ready once again. The 3-2 payoff pitch. Peyton Tipton to Tucker Helton. And here it is. Fouled straight back off the screen. And we'll do it again. Three and 2. Tipton will be asked to go quite a ways in this ball game, most likely. The payoff. Fouled straight back. Helton got another piece of it. And recording the final out of the 4th. This is his first full inning of work. Several lightning flashes in the distance over the left field wall. The 3-2 misses high, ball 4. So Helton battles and draws a walk. He's on base for the second time, just a fielder's choice in his first at-bat, so 0 for 1 he remains. Here's Noah Bray, runner on first, nobody out. He's the tying run. Go-ahead run at the plate in Bray. And Bray is 0 for 1, a fly ball to left. His first opportunity. Tipton set, sidesteps and deals and misses outside, ball 1. Hardhats in double play depth. And a little bit of a shift put on for the left-handed bat of Bray. The 1-0 from Tipton, well outside, 2-0. Bray will most likely wait for Tipton to fire one across the plate for a called strike before he even threatens to swing the bat. The 2-0, well outside, 3-0 now. The Hardhats' difficulties in this tournament, especially the last two games, have been walking the bases full or hitting a couple batters as well, and then walking in runs. The 3-0. Outside edge called strike one. Three balls and a strike, Tipton. From the belt, side steps and deals, and it's outside, just a touch. It's a walk drawn by Bray. And it'll put runners on first and second. Solano out to have a quick word with Tipton. And Solano relays a few signs in front of the plate and back behind in his crouch. Next to bat is Sam Glotzbach. Back-to-back walks drawn by Terre Haute to start this fifth inning. Glotzbach scored the bunt, and it fouled off the catcher's mask back to the screen, actually out of play, into the third row of seating. So 0-1. Infield expecting bunt now with 2 on and nobody out. The 0-1 from Tipton. He swings away. It's a fly ball to center. Shallow right center, and it's Dylan Marsh who makes the grab. Out number 1. The Hardhats were shifting around their infielders, expecting bunt. Tipton, or Kiefer rather, went sprinting towards third with Anderson crashing. And Marsh makes the grab on the pop out to second. I believe that was an infield fly as well. Here's Caden Mason, top of the order now. First pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. Mason 0 for 2. Bouncer to the right side to Marsh, and he struck out. Both against Palmer Jacobs. So facing Peyton Tipton here for the first time, who's set at the belt. The breaking ball is a called strike 2. 1 out. Man on first and second. Kiefer playing up the middle. There's a big gap on the left side, even with the right-handed bat. 0-2, down and away. Snagged by Solano, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And typically, not all the time, but typically, with a right-handed batter at the plate and a runner on second, the second baseman would hold on the runner. 1-2, down and away on the breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Kiefer kind of dancing around at his shortstop position, putting a big gap on the left side and pull side for Caden Mason. Time is asked for at the plate by Mason before the 2-2. It's easier, now hitting is very difficult, but it's easier to pull a ball for the most part and hit it the opposite direction. The 2-2 called, strike 3, outside edge at the knees, and a backwards K in the book next to Caden Mason's name. He's down on strikes for the second time, and a huge out number 2. First strikeout for Peyton Tipton, a big one. After walking the first 2 men he faced in this inning, getting a pop out to second, and then the strikeout. Now Cade Moore. (1-0) as Tipton misses down and away. Quick mound visit by Solano. Maybe a cross-up of the signs in that first pitch to Cade Moore. Tipton ready, and the 1-0. Stares down the runner at second, and time is asked for just before Tipton left his leg. Want to know the count still on Moore. He's 1 for 2, a double out, trying to stretch it into a triple. The 1-0 called a strike above the knees. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tipton looks into Solano. He flashes the sign, sets up inside. The 1-1 popped up right side, out of play, right over my head. And now 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Cade Moore. And bounced right back to the pitcher. Actually to the first base side, underhand flipped to the pitcher for out number 3 of the third. 2 on, 2 outs, 1-0 Hardhats. The 1-2 popped up behind the plate. Solano has room. He gives chase, but he runs out of room. It lands 3 rows behind the netting. Boy, it looked like Solano would have a play right off the bat and just spun enough foul to be out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. The play ball signal given once again to Peyton Tipton. Long look in by Tipton, and Moore might ask for time once again. Tipton set. A peek at second, the 1-2, down and away. Blocked by Solano. Runner takes off for third, and he's out by a mile. Taken out by Wyatt Anderson. Why in the world did that happen? It's 1-0 Hardhats as we head to the bottom of the 5th here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales, Service, and Recreation. Bottom of inning number 5, and a 1-0 Hardhats lead over Terre, Haute, Indiana. And caught stealing on what I believe the runner must have thought was a wild pitch. But Solano snagged it and threw down to third and easily beat the runner by a half mile. For out number 3. So Helton out for the third out of the top of the 5th. And Cade Moore will lead off the 6th. It's the top of the order for the Hardhats: Zeke Farley, Saylor, and then White Anderson. First pitch, chopper right side on a couple of hops. Ty Stoltz, the second baseman, fires the first in time, out number 1. Now Marion Saylor. Still 1-0 Hardhats. 1 out, nobody on. Saylor is 0 for 2. Pair of flyouts, 1 to center, 1 to right. Will set into his motion, and the first pitch breaking ball called strike 1 on Saylor. Hardhats will play an unknown opponent at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. A line drive off the glove of the shortstop, Cade Moore. He bobbles, and Saylor beats it out. It'll be most likely an error. A bouncer to the left side of the infield. It looked like fairly easy play for the shortstop Moore. We'll see how that's ruled. Either the 4th hit of the ball game for the Hardhats or the 3rd error in the column for Terre Haute. Either way, it's a runner off of first and 1 out. Still nothing on the scoreboard. White Anderson swings through the first pitch. Down in the count, he goes 0-1. He is 0 for 1 on the ball game, a walk and a strikeout. They do put the 3rd error in that column for Terre Haute on the scoreboard. So an E6, Saylor takes off for second. The breaking ball is swung on and missed. Saylor dives in safely, a stolen base. So a man in scoring position. And at this point, it might be a huge insurance run. Just a 1-0 score at this point in favor of the Post 22 Hardhats. The 0-2 outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Anderson. Anderson good would be next, barring a double play ball, as a firework shoots over by the bullpen area of the Hardhats. The 1-2 breaking ball outside, just missed that outside edge. 2-2. Anderson ready. The catcher sets up pretty much right down the middle. Runner takes off for third, and Anderson just got a piece of it as Saylor has to drop back to second. Now, we mentioned earlier this season, Coach Torvey and his coaching staff have given the green light for players to take third on their own if they feel that they can. Obviously, Amarian Saylor has plenty of speed. The 2-2 popped up now out of play. Anderson battling at the plate. He will see a 6th pitch in this at-bat. The 2-2 breaking ball inside edge called strike 3. Anderson down looking for out number 2. 5th strikeout overall for Tyler Will. Runner on second, 2 gone, 1-0 Hardhats. Bottom of the 5th. Here's Harrison Good. He's 0 for 2, a bouncer to third Marion Saylor takes off for third. The throw down is wild and into left field. Here comes Marion Saylor to the plate. He will jog in home. It's 2-0 Hardhats. Stolen base and an 8-2. Make it the fourth error of the ball game for Terre Haute, Indiana. This one on the catcher. Big insurance run produced by the Hardhats. It's 2-0. And now a delay. The Terre Haute coach was yelling something to our home plate umpire. Maybe thought that it was called strike one, but it's a 1-0 count, and Good looks at a called strike. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Set. And the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs, empty base paths now. It's 2-0 Rapid City. This is the latest lead outside of the 6th inning lead that the Hardhats have had this tournament. 3 balls and a strike as Harrison Good looks at ball 3 outside. Hitter friendly count. Here's the 3-1. Breaking ball high and inside, ball 4. 2 out walk drawn by Harrison Good. Speed put on first once again for the Hardhats, and it brings up Dylan Marsh. Marsh was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, bounced back to the pitcher in the 4th. First pitch, a bluff steal attempt by Harrison Good, and it misses down and away, 1-0. Good still at first base with the 2 outs. 1-0 the count on Marsh. Tyler Will at 85 pitches. This is his 86th. Harrison Good takes off for second to throw down. Bounces in, and they got him at second. And Good thrown out for out number 3. Hardhats on the board once again. It's 2-0. We head to the 6th. Terre Haute down to potentially their final 6 outs offensively. Way to the 6th when we return on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Set for the 6th here in Rapid City, Terre Haute, Indiana, and the Post-22 Hardhats here in Rapid City. Peyton Tipton back to the mound, and it's Cade Moore to lead things off 2, 3, and 4. First pitch, a high pop-up, shallow on left field, long run for Wyatt Anderson, and it ends up being a foul ball. And Cade Moore just sprinting around the bases. For some reason, didn't realize that was a foul ball. So nice slow walk as he gathers his breath back to the batter's box. It's just strike one. Anderson went out from third base. Kiefer came over as well as a long run for Amarian Saylor. Kiefer called off Anderson and overran the baseball, basically. Unfortunate play, just strike one. Tipton set the 0-1. Bouncer over the head of Tipton and past the sliding infielders into center field. It's a leadoff single for Cade Moore. His second hit of the ball game. Boy, Tipton just about caught that on the mound. And then Kiefer slid, and then Marsh slid behind him, and no one could get to that ball hit. And chopped high enough to get over the mound and hard enough to get past all three fielders. First pitch to the right-hander, snagged by Negebauer to second for one. Nobody covering first on the back end, so they just get the lead runner Moore. And Coy Edwards reaches on the fielder's choice, so he is 1 for 2 now. Brings up Jackson McFarland. Runner on first, one out, 2-0 Rapid City on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Set at the belt and tipped in a pickoff move to first. Back in time, Negebauer slaps the tag on, but Edwards in safely. McFarland awaiting his first pitch from Tipton. Here it is, and it's ball one, a touch low. McFarland tonight 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout, his single in the fourth. Struck out to end the first. Decent sized lead at first, and McFarland looks at a called strike one, lower outside edge, 1 ball and 1 strike. Still in the top of the 6th. One, up and away, 2 balls and a strike. So Terre Haute enters in this ball game with the loss to Missoula, entering this ball game 2-2. Hardhats 0-4. Looking for their first victory. The 2-1, bouncer up the middle, sliding stop, but past Marsh into center field and quickly into the infield. It's another single for Jackson McFarland. He's 2 for 3, puts runners on first and second. And it brings up Logan Nickerson. Jake Solano out to have a few words with Peyton Tipton, making sure they're on the same page sign-wise with the runner at second and the 1 out. Infielders will be in double play depth. Kiefer basically shading the runner and fouled straight back out of play on the first pitch by Tipton. Nickerson 0 for 2. A fly ball to right and a fly ball to center. He's the third baseman defensively. Blue batting gloves on the right side and a white sleeve. The 0-1 misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ty Stoltz after him. If there would be no double play ball. Big off move to second, high throw. Kiefer snags it. 2-0 our score. A 1-1 count on Nicholson. The 1-1. High, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. And for Tipton, he's battled a little bit of a leg injury. Seems like aggravates then whenever he's in the field, but can't pitch. 2-1 becomes 3 balls and a strike as he misses high. In jeopardy of putting the bases full. Set and the 3-1. High, ball 4, and it will be bases loaded for Ty Stoltz. And here comes Coach Ryan Clapper out of the dugout to have a word with Tipton. So the tying run in scoring position, we're still at 2-0 Hardhats. But the bases are full of royal blue post 346 jerseys. Quick mound visit. Tipton up over 40 pitches. That was his 43rd. Edwards off of third, McFarland at second, and Nicholson at first. Left-handed bat of Ty Stoltz. He's 0 for 1. A walk in the second and a bouncer back to the pitcher. His last trip in the fourth. That was the first at-bat that Tipton faced. This is downstairs ball 1. 1-0. Pressure moment here. After a single, a fielder's choice, another single, then a walk. So it's bases loaded and still no runs across for the moment. The 1-0. High fly ball, shallow left field. Amarin Saylor, a long run in. It's Wilson Kiefer who makes the grab in shallow left field for out number 2. No tag anywhere because of how shallow that ball was. It's out number 2. And F6. And now Tucker Helton. Helton walked in the 5th, reached on a fielder's choice way back in inning number 2. Still bases full, 2 outs now, 2-0 Rapid City. Tipton's first pitch to Helton, swung on and missed 0-1. Helton was locked in a battle at the plate with Tipton back in the 5th, where he eventually drew a walk. Setting the 0-1, breaking ball, waved at and missed. 0-2. Hardhats being out hit 5-4 at the moment. But it only matters in the runs column. The 0-2 from Peyton Tipton. Foul tipped, he just got a piece of it, and it fouled off the mask of Solano. Count remains 0-2. We'll do it again. Peyton Tipton to Tucker Helton. Long look into Solano from Tipton. Comes set, and he's ready. The 2-strike pitch. Chopper past Tipton on the mound. Kiefer Fields charging in and fires the first in time, out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Terre Haute strands the bases full. And it's 2-0 Rapid City heading to that bottom of the 6th inning. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Tyler Will back to the mound for Terre, Haute, Indiana. Working to begin his 6th inning of work. He's at up over 80 pitches on his night. He's at 86 to begin the 6th. Hardhats will have Dylan Marsh, Lee Negebauer, and Kai Jackson. This part of the lineup has produced 2 out of the 4 Hardhats hits tonight. Negebauer has 1, Jackson has 1. Kiefer in the 9 spot has the 3rd, and then I don't even have the 4th hit in my scorebook for some reason. Either way, Dylan Marsh leads things off. Marion Saylor was credited with a hit. A little bloop, a line drive into the Hardhats dugout. Everyone ducks for cover. And Dylan Marsh down on the count 0-1. So that's the 4th hit. Marion Saylor grabbing that with the run scored in the 5th inning. Dylan Marsh hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Out back to the pitcher. His last at bat. One bounces off the plate back to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wills set and the 1-1. A strike across the belt called strike 2. Hardhats looking for some insurance heading to the top of the 7th. The 1-2. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ready once again. Will looks in. Dangles his right arm with the baseball in. And the 2-2. Popped up right side. It's out of play. We'll do it again. This crowd that has been here all night sticking around for the conclusion of this ball game, and why not? 2-2, runs inside and hits it. Marsh hit with a pitch, and he'll trot down to first for the 2nd time because of the hit batter. This one hit the elbow of Marsh, the front elbow, that's his left elbow. And holding it now in some pain. Runner on first, nobody out. Lee Negebauer at the plate. He bats from the left side. He's 1 for 2. Deep fly ball to center and in a little seeing eye single as he looks at a called strike at the knees. 0-1. A blooper on a rope. That bounced in front of the center fielder, Caden Mason. Straight up stance on the left side, the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Marsh off of first. Nobody out. The 1-1 now from Will. Breaking ball, tried the back door, just missed. It's 2 balls and a strike on Negebauer. Negebauer listed as a pitcher only, but getting the start at first base here tonight. The 2-1. Chopper left side, a backhand stop by the second baseman to second for 1, over to first in time. It's a double play. 4-6-3 in the book. Stoltz to Moore and to Glotzbach. So quickly, the leadoff base runner is erased with the pitcher's best friend. Brings up Kai Jackson. He bats from the left side. Will set, and the first pitch to Jackson misses inside. Ball one. Breaking ball on the first pitch to Jackson. He looped a double down the left field line his last trip. The 1-0. Line drive into center field, up and into the glove of Caden Mason for out number 3. Hardhats lead 2-0, heading to the top of the 7th. It'll be Peyton Tipton to take the ball for the Hardhats. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. It's the top of the 7th. Hardhat tap around. Peyton Tipton on the mound. Tipton will face the Terre Haute 8, 9, and 1. The top of the 7th, at least that is the 3 scheduled. 2-0 the Rapid City lead. Tipton looks in the first pitch to Noah Bray, the left fielder. Bray has walked and flied to left. A chopper right at the plate, 0-1. The ball's in a strike on Bray. Left-handed bat, so righty on lefty matchup. Tipton ready. And the 0-1. Line drive, base hit past the leaping glove of Wilson Kiefer. Into center field, leadoff man on for Terre Haute. Bray into the hit cone for the first time. He's on base for the second time. Brings up Sam Glotzbach. Glotzbach bats from the right side. 0 for 2 day. A fly to right and a pop out to second. Runner on first, nobody out. First pitch from Tipton to Glotzbach is a called strike right above the knees, 0-1. Top the order on deck, that's Caden Mason, actually a pinch hitter on deck. Caden Mason is 0 for 3. This one runs inside and hits him. The tying run is on base. Pinch hitter is Bryson Carpenter in place of Caden Mason. Be a left-handed bat, I believe, and Carpenter trotting back into the dugout. Must have had his cell phone in his back pocket. And now Coach Clapper has asked for time, and he wants to talk with the entire Hardhats infield. Here's the situation, folks. It's 2 on, nobody out. The tying run on first. Go-ahead run at the plate. It's 2-0 Rapid City. Top of the 7th. Peyton Tipton on the mound, and this is his ball game. There's no one warming in the bullpen. And we'll see how this fares. All right, the mound visit concludes for Coach Klaprich and the Hardhats. Everyone back to their respective positions. Carpenter at the plate. Tipton ready and expecting bunt. Carpenter swings away and swings right through at 0-1. Difficult spot to pinch hit in. Top of the 7th, you're trailing by 2. And you're now the go-ahead run with nobody out. 0-1, down and away, blocked by Solano. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tipton toes the rubber once again. Negebauer playing in front of the runner at first. Middle infield back. Anderson in line with the third base bag, and Carpenter swings through the 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Cade Moore on deck. Tipton a long look into Solano. He dangles his right arm to his side with the baseball in hand. Comes set and the 1-2. Outside by a hair. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No wind to speak of at this point. Approaching the 10 o'clock hour local mountain time. The 2-2. Fly ball right side out of play. It's foul. To those listening back in Terre, Haute, Indiana, thank you for sticking with us in your late night. Two nothing Rapid City right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bryson Carpenter. And the 2-2. Downstairs blocked by Solano. Breaking ball that time from Tipton, and now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count runs full. Still nobody out. Hardhats being out hit 6-4. Ready in the payoff pitch. Peyton Tipton to Bryson Carpenter. It's a line drive right at Wyatt Anderson, and he dives and makes the grab out number 1. Heads up play by Wyatt Anderson at third. They don't call that the hot corner for nothing. Huge first down. Brings up Cade Moore. He's 2 for 3. And now Coach Klaprich out to take the baseball from Peyton Tipton. We'll see who pitches next. It looks like it'll be Wyatt Anderson. We'll take a step aside. A round of applause for Peyton Tipton, hanging on to the lead in this ball game. And he gets a shake of the hands from his Hardhat teammates as he walks back to the dugout. We'll take a quick step aside and allow Anderson to throw his warm-up pitches and come right back for the rest of the 7th after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. On the mound for the Hardhats, it's Wyatt Anderson. He comes from third base to the mound. Riker Henny will take over at third for Anderson. He comes out of the dugout. Anderson on the mound this season. This is his 12th appearance. 46 2/3. Most of them starts. He's made 9 starts, a 3-1 record, 35 hits, 30 runs, 16 earned, 50 strikeouts to 32 walks, and a 2.40 ERA for Anderson. His last outing came against Yankton. He hasn't pitched since last Tuesday. Against Yankton, he went 4 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned runs, 4 walks and 2 strikeouts in that ball game. Anderson ready on the mound. And Cade Moore will be his first task. 1 out, men on first and second. They're the tying runs. The go-ahead run is at the plate. And Cade Moore, he's 2 for 3. Anderson, the right-hander, toes the rubber on the far first base side. And here we go. 1 out, runners on first and second. 2-0 Rapid City. The first pitch to Moore misses downstairs. Blocked by Solano. It went past him a little bit, but not far enough. 1-0. Moore, a single his last trip, but doubled and out advancing to third, trying to advance to third in the first. And he looks at ball 2, a little bit downstairs from Anderson. He bounced to first in between those 2 hits. Negebauer behind the runner at first. Anderson set, a peek at second. Sidesteps and deals the 2-0. Strike 1 on the outside edge. 2-1. Big spot, and why not pitch a senior? Anderson set once again, and the 2-1. Downstairs, scooped by Solano. 3 balls and a strike. And now, where do you go on the 3-1? You can't make it too good on a man that already has 2 hits. The 3-1 from Anderson. Bouncer to short. Kiefer to second for 1. Marsh to first. In time, it's a double play to end the ball game. 6-4-3 in the Hardhats. Victorious 2-0 over Terre Haute, Indiana. We'll take a quick step aside and come right back for our post-game show after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Postgame show. Pioneer Bank and Trust is proud to support local sports, and they want to be your trusted partner for all your banking needs. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local. Visit pioneerbankandtrust.com. Hardhats victorious for the first time here at the Firecracker tournament. They're now 1-4 at the Firecracker with a 2-0 victory over Terre, Haute, Indiana. Wayne Newton posts 346. Quick rundown of the line score in this one. The Hardhats jumped out in front with 1 run in the 4th. They added 1 more run in the 5th. And that score held up. Final score 2-0, post 22. They used 3 pitchers to do it. And hinting at tonight's players of the game with that statement. Terre Haute, no runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors defensively, I believe. The Hardhats, 2 runs, 4 hits, so they were out hit 6-4, and no errors defensively for the Hardhats. They win this one 2-0. Today's players of the game is sponsored by Claiborne Lawson Sabres, whether it's divorce, injury, or a business dispute, when you need someone to step up for you, the law office at Claiborne Lawson and Sabres is always ready. Just Google Claiborne Lawson and Sabres in Rapid City, and we'll give it to the pitching staff for the Hardhats here tonight. All 3, Palmer Jacobs, Peyton Tipton, and Wyatt Anderson battled. Anderson recording the final 2 outs of the night. Peyton Tipton, 2 2/3 in relief of Palmer Jacobs, who was on a 60-pitch limit, so he can pitch in Pierre on Wednesday night. But Palmer Jacobs, 3 2/3, 3 hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Peyton Tipton, 2 2/3, 3 hits, no runs, 1 strikeout and 3 walks. And Wyatt Anderson, the final 2 outs of the ball game, no hits, no runs, and he finished things off with a 6-4-3. Pitcher's best friend, the double play ball, Kiefer to Marsh and Negebauer on the back end. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. The Hardhats will play the final game tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. They face Premier West. Now, that Premier West club, they hold a 1-4 record as well going into that ball game. So the 9 a.m. game tomorrow will be the 5th and 6th place game between Rock Canyon and this Terre Haute, Indiana team. The 3rd and 4th place game at 11:30 a.m. between Millard and Rocky Mountain. The 2 p.m. game is the championship game between Missoula and Papillion. And then the Hardhats will play for 7th place at 4:30 against Premier West. So until approximately 4:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. My name is Adam Birch. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.